Okay, we're going to do a walkthrough of Illyria P2 and P3 so that we're on the same page for what I want those phases to look like. At the start of P2, we're going to bait a simulacrum. During these phases, when we bait the simulacrum, it's going to spawn on the platform farthest from us. So we always want to bait on the right side of the platform so that it spawns on the platform to our left. This is going to be the blue platform for us, and we're going to be on the right side here at the end of the intermission. Then we're going to lust and pot at the start of P2. The hit squad is going to take the gate and kill the simulacrum. Everybody else stays on the main platform. And you're going to get an obelisk set on the main platform. The boss is going to be tanked along this golden middle line during this phase. And then as we do the obelisks, range are going to kind of kite towards this corner where we're going to do our first drop. After the first drop, we're going to get Ranger's Captain's Mark. So the way the Captain's Mark works is that one person in the chain is going to get the chevron, and one person is going to get the bow and arrow over them. I want us to use the line between the chevron and the bow and arrow to cross through Illyria. So just position with your partner so that you and your partner are crossing through Illyria. Don't rely on the line from the simulacrum. And then there's going to be two sets of chains, and both of them need to cross through Illyria so that we can extend the phase. Okay, immediately after that, we're going to get obelisk baits. The way I want us to do obelisks is, so after the Captain's Mark, I want us to bait far right for the obelisk. That's going to leave a gap between the goop and the obelisk spawn. And then the range that don't get the obelisk are going to move into that gap to bait the orb. So the obelisk person is going to need to shoot the simulacrums with their obelisk arrows. The range person is always going to target the simulacrum on the platform that we're on. The melee is always going to target the far simulacrum on one of these two far platforms, and the simulacrum will glow purple to show that you are online with being able to hit it. So it's going to repeat that kind of sequence over and over again in this phase. It's going to be Captain's Mark, bait obelisks right, bait orbs left, and then Captain's Mark. After we drop 4 orbs on this phase, we're going to do a gate to the next platform. So the way it's going to work is we're going to bait the 4th orb drop. And the people with the debuff are going to stay, and everybody else can gate. And we're going to get a quick Captain's Mark after the gate. So you need to kind of be on top of things so that you can make sure that we get this Captain's Mark into the boss correctly. After that, we get another set of obelisks. This set of obelisks does need to hit the simulacrums on the new platform. And then we get one more orb drop. This will be orb drop number 5. And then this will be our last set of Captain's Marks. The next set of obelisks that comes up does not need to hit these simulacrums. You just play safe. You don't need to hit anything because these are going to despawn when we phase. The important thing is that the raid needs to move in, so because when she phases, she's going to do a pushback right there, and you don't want to get knocked off. If she's around 47% for the intermission, then we should be in good shape. All right. For intermission 2 is pretty simple. First, you stay out behind the golden line. Then we move in. And then we're going to start P3. For P3, kind of the important thing to know is knowing how we cross to each platform. The substance of each platform is pretty similar once we're like actually on it, but crossing is the kind of important thing. On each P3 platform, we're going to get a simulacrum and a mini boss spawn, and we want to bait things so that they spawn on the same platform. So we start off by baiting again to the right side of the platform, and we're going to get aspect at the end, which is the tethers. For every tether set, Dimble is going to taunt the boss right before the end of the cast, or as the cast is before the cast finishes, which means he's going to get the tank tether. And since we have 4 melee, he also has a 1 in 4 chance of getting the melee tether, so we just have a small chance of immuning 1 tether that way. For every tether set, I want Dimble to break instantly. For the first set, we're going to also break the melee one instantly at the same time, and then the range one is going to be slightly delayed off of that. For the tanks during this, what we need to do is we need to bring the boss to this new platform after the Rift Simulacrum cast finishes, but before the Cosmic Portal cast finishes, so that we get both ads on the same platform. And then we're also going to get an obelisk overlap here. So if you're the obelisk targets, you just want to stay here on the tip so that you don't cleave the raid. Okay, so we have the mini boss. We tank the mini boss with the simulacrum. If the mini boss does spawn on the old platform, you can get it over by taunting, or some people said gripping might work also. But see, if it does spawn on a bad location, you could try that and try to get it over. Range, we're going to be hitting the mini boss and the simulacrum on each platform at the start, and we're going to get a set of obelisks as we move towards our bait spot in the corner. Okay, and then this part is going to be kind of the part that's similar for all the platforms. So we're going to bait in the corner. Again, initial bait on drop on ranged, and then 4 players are going to get debuffed. If you get the debuff, you stay in the corner. Everybody else is going to go to the middle for the tethers. For all the mid-platform tethers, it's going to overlap with the damage from the orb drops. So what we want us to do is Dimble's going to break instantly before the orbs drop. Then we're going to get the orb drop damage, and then we're going to do melee and then ranged on these. Okay, you get obelisks in the middle, so you don't want to move too early, and then we go to do our next crossing. Again, for this next crossing, we want to bait just to the right of the tip, and we're going to gate the second crossing. The idea is this needs to be a short gate, so you want to place it as short as possible because we need to gate without breaking our tethers. We want to get our tethers on this platform and then gate without breaking. Important thing here is that you need to also wait for the obelisks to spawn before you gate here. So we're going to get an obelisk set after this tethers. So 1, 2 obelisks and then gate. Again, we're going to break Dimble and then melee and then ranged here, hitting the mini boss and the simulacrum, and then we're going to bait an obelisk set along the edge as we move to our bait spot. Only thing to remember on this middle platform is it is Demiar, so you need to watch your cast timer so you don't get interrupted. Okay, same thing here. We bait corner, debuff players stay, everybody else goes to the middle for the tethers. Again, Dimble instantly, then orb drops, then melee, then ranged here. We're going to get obelisks in the middle, and then we're going to go towards the tip. This last set, we don't need to bait the simulacrum anymore because it only has one option. What we need to look for here is the Devouring Cosmos cast. We don't want to cross before this cast finishes because that's the goop she puts on the platform. And if you cross early, it might go on you and cover our last platform. So after this Cosmos cast finishes, we're self-crossing over to the last platform, and we're doing the tethers on the platform. So we stay at the tip of the platform, and we get tethers. Again, it's going to be Dimble, then melee, and then ranged, and we're going to get a set of obelisks here overlapped. One thing to know is that if you ever get the obelisks overlapped with the tethers, you want to use a personal because the debuff, you're going to have the dot from the obelisk as we're doing the tether damage, so that's a scary spot. After this set of obelisks, we're getting another set of obelisks as well, so we don't want to move too fast here to our bait spot. Ranged, meanwhile, you're still hitting the mini boss and the simulacrum. That's our first priority on every platform, and then we do the bait in the corner. Okay, we're baiting in the corner. Debuff players stay. We're going to middle for tethers. This is going to be the last tether set that we should get in the fight. So if you have any personals or stuff left, you would use it here. Again, we're going to do Dimble instantly, then orb drops, and then melee, and then ranged. Obelisks are staying towards the center, and we kite towards the tip so that we have as much time as possible to hit the boss and commit.